Hello Year 7, I hope you're all safe and well. This is Mr. Richardson with your second lesson on multiplying fractions on Wednesday the 12th of May. Listen carefully and I'll explain everything you need to do to succeed in this lesson. Today you will need a blue pen, a red pen, a ruler and your exercise book. If you need to fetch any equipment, please do it now. Before you start work, remember to write the date and rule margins in your book. Don't forget to always write down which outcome you're working on and the question number in the margin. Your HIR today is on multiplying and dividing decimals. Please spend no more than 5 minutes answering these questions in your exercise book. The answers are on the following slide. Please show integrity by marking your work carefully in red pen. Here's the flowchart for the multiplying fractions unit. Today we will be finishing off F3 and we'll cover the whole of F4 and F5. The icons will guide you again. There will be model examples to copy down, partially done examples to complete, questions to practice independently, and answers to help you to self-assess with a red pen. So today we're starting with F3. This is multiplying whole numbers by any fraction. The next thing you'll see is a 2.5 minute video explaining this skill. For the final part of F3, let's look at an example where the answer isn't a whole number. So we're working out 11 over 20 times 5. Again, we start by multiplying the numerator by the whole number. We're left with the division 55 divided by 20, which we know won't go exactly. So if we can, we simplify this fraction. This fraction doesn't simplify anymore, so finally we check the question to see what form it wants our answer in. It says leaving your answer as an improper fraction, so we've finished. If the question asked you to convert it to a mixed number, that would be the last thing to do. That's the end of F3 and the end of this video. Please try the F3 questions now. You can either open the lesson PDF to go to the F3 slide, or simply pause this video here. These questions should take you 10 to 12 minutes. Now on to F4, and the next thing you'll see is a short video, 1.5 minutes long, explaining this skill. Let's see how to multiply 2/3 by 6/7. To multiply fractions, we begin by multiplying the numerators together. And then we multiply the denominators together. This answer, 12 over 21, is correct, but of course if we can simplify fractions we should, and I can divide the numerator by 3 and the denominator by 3 to get the equivalent fraction 4/7. Here's a question for you to try. Work out 1/2 times 2/3. Pause the video now. So we just worked out that 1/2 times 2/3 is equal to 2/6, and that simplifies down to 1/3. Let's draw a picture to double check that that result makes sense. I'm going to start by drawing a rectangle that represents a whole one. That rectangle represents 1. I've divided it into thirds and I'm going to shade in 2 of them. So that represents 2/3. Now I'm going to work out 1/2 of 2/3. So I'm going to cut the rectangle in half. And I'm going to shade in 1/2 of my 2/3. My rectangle's now cut into 6 pieces. And I've shaded in green 2 of those pieces. So 1/2 of 2/3 is equal to 2/6, which is the same as 1/3. Please work through the F4 and F5 slide now, copying the example down, completing the partially done examples, and then tackling the questions. This should take you 12 to 15 minutes. Finally, please make sure you've marked your work in red pen and fully corrected any mistakes. Congratulations, you've been resilient enough to reach the end of this lesson. Well done. Please look after your exercise books so that you can bring in your work when we return to school.